Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we
We're
on?
live.
It says end broadcast, though. Should I hit that one?
No, that's
Just like last time?
That's what I did last week. From my
It's
truck.
not from a truck, yeah.
All right. What is it? Episode 20?
21.
21. Why am I looking at episode 19 show notes?
No, they're all the same, with just minor changes.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We're brought to you again by EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta. One of Canada's premier long-range and precision rifle builders, from lightweight hunting rifles and precision starter packages to extreme long-range bullet hoses. EM Precision's craftsmanship speaks for itself, and they have the expertise to build you that once-in-a-lifetime rig. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and their website at emprifles.ca.
You bet. They are our primary sponsor. And they actually are, again, I'm going to chill out to Tundra Supply with John there. And they got that, the hunting gun for a sticker draw there. So $25 gets you an entry, and yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
We are also, I'm going to read this too. We're also brought to you by Bolt Action Coffee. Bringing you coffee cupping scores of 85.5 or higher on the internationally renowned coffee cupping scale. They're the way to go. My favorite is Overwatch right now, considering I'm on a diet and all I do is drink black, dark.
That's what old Grumpy's carrying tonight.
That's right. But yeah, check them out. boltactioncoffee.com. Use code FIRSTFocalPlane to get 10% off your order. And by doing so, you will help out the show. Very small amount, but you definitely help out the show. So
you betcha. It's funny. Go ahead.
Well, it looks like Ryan's got is that a Bolt Action shirt?
It is. I like to support the people that support us, right? And I'm a big fan. I don't know a quaffing score, how that works, but if they tell me it's good and it helps out people I like, then I'm all for it.
You bet.
And it's really good.
It's damn good coffee too.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't just shill it out if we didn't believe in it, right? So
it's freaking good coffee.
Did you guys get the November 11th blend, or whatever they call it?
No, I did not. I missed out mainly because I'm poor.
I've just been gone so bloody much. It's like, oh, hey, I should do that. Yeah. And oh, by the way, you got a crew to run over here. Right, sure, okay.
Yeah, it's super interesting in the wine. I've only done one like French press of it so far, but it's pretty outstanding. Interesting again with it being in wine. So
yeah, no
so
doubt.
You French press it, right?
I do, and I also hand grind it with a burr grinder because that's all I got, and it's horrendous. It's like 7 minutes of just hand grinding every morning.
Yeah, that would suck. Not,
I watched Rob Nibbs do it out at my range when they brought some of that coffee, and he had that old antique coffee grinder, and honestly, the hopper on it was like it'd be 2 effing teaspoons big. He's grinding away on it. You guys are gonna love this. Grinding away. Oh, we got to empty that. Grind it. I promise you're gonna love this.
and then he gets tired, so he has to pass it off.
Right. Let's take it over.
Yeah. It's very like hipster / Amish, right? Like,
Rob resembles both of those. Oh, dude, right on. Yeah, I brewed up a pot of Overwatch tonight. I did a little bit too late. I got a hot cup. And I got my iced coffee. And of course I got, and I have, I'm back to Captain Morgan's.
Are you?
Yeah. I haven't been paying attention to my liquor cabinet. So,
every once in a while you got to indulge your inner pirate.
Pilot. Yeah. The pilot.
Probably a lot of pilots drinking Captain Morgan's too.
Or do you? Commercial pilots.
What are you other bozos drinking? I mean bozos with love, but
as always, I'm hawking my boy Yawkin.
Oh man,
he's drinking our beer. This is off a new keg.
Funny you say that, Ryan. So I reached out to them on Instagram saying, where can
Yeah.
I get that in Regina? And they said Sobeys liquor store has it, but it's only on. They don't stock it. They
And get it
special
in.
order only. And I'm like, yeah, that's too much work.
I thought maybe you were going to tell us that he told you to screw off. We don't ship to Saskatchewan.
Oh man! Ever since they won best Hefeweizen in the world with the World Beer Awards, it's exploded. So they'll be all over Canada. Oh yeah, they won awards, but that one really took the top, beat all the old German beer breweries in Germany, and yeah, he was international news. Yeah,
we should get some to our buddy Jens and see if it's actually like a German style.
Yeah,
he'll know.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
What's a Hefeweizen, by the
Yeah.
I picture some sort of cross between a bovine and something else.
So Hefe is German for yeast, and Weizen, you're talking about like a wheat beer. So it's a beer that a lot of the flavor comes from the way that the yeast interacts with the wheat in the beer. It's got a real banana clove kind of flavor, and it's 100% just byproducts from the yeast eating stuff. That's the really basic explanation.
You know an extraordinary amount about German beer, it seems.
Yes.
Hey man, you gotta know what you'll. So
well, so I was watching the Canadian Patriot podcast on Instagram, and then also the Canadian Pepper podcast. Shout out to those dudes. And they were making mead. It tastes like a punch in the face.
Oh, maybe he's more of a Radler guy. I don't know.
But they spent the day Sunday brewing mead. And
I know, isn't that sweet?
Oh, literally. I think a couple of them will be sweet, depending on how much honey you use. But isn't yeast like, for brewing mead is a primary drink based on the shit of the bacteria in yeast, right?
Well, pretty much everything, right? That's how the alcohol comes out, right?
I guess.
And that's where the flavor comes from. But anything with a sugar can be turned into alcohol, right? Like toilet wine with ketchup packs in prison, right? You can, I know, haven't experienced it, but if it's got a sugar content, you can make it into drinkable alcohol.
Nice.
Theoretically drinkable, but it's
brewing alcohol in my belly right now.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of getting punched in the face, I'm drinking the Proper 12 from Irishman Conor McGregor. So
it's hard to beat that stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it's so
God,
good.
It's nice and smooth.
For the price, it's one of the best Irish whiskeys. Like I'm supposed to be going hunting right now, but but my hunting host has tested positive for COVID. So I'm not going hunting. But anyway.
You're not going to put on a mask, are you, Ryan?
No. I've just got a bunch of buddies that are on COVID watch. And I was like, I should have my phone because it screwed up our plans for tomorrow, right? Our Remembrance Day plans. Oh. One buddy flew in from Iraq and he's staying in his RV. He's negative, but a couple of the other cops I know have got, there's something going around. So they're all waiting. Plans went completely to shit.
Well, yeah. Well, and plus we just got, that area I'm going south of Maple Creek into the hills. And that's in the Cypress Hills, and they just got 4 to 5 feet of snow dumped on there. So that would be fun, especially if I shot a doe into that cut bank again. That'd be great.
I was gonna say if somebody had your Creedmoor done up for you, load test and all that kind of stuff, maybe you could have taken one from a hilltop. But maybe you should take a spear gun. That way you could hook it onto the winch and just winch that sucker back in.
That'd be pretty sweet, actually.
I think so.
Me and my dad, we did pick up a 4,000-pound winch just for that purpose. So, anyway. Yeah. Sean, you get down there and I will run the winch.
Okay. Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Hook onto your belt loop.
Better than throwing her over my shoulder. Oh, that sucked.
So what plans do you have for tomorrow then, Ryan?
I have no idea. I was
okay.
It's like our plan was a bunch of us and the boys were all going to jump in an RV and pay someone to be a DD and drive us all over Alberta for the day, going to all the small legions and just ripping it apart. Right. The COVID tests have proven problematic. So some guys are still waiting on their second ones, and because of work, they can't skirt the rules. So I don't know. We were just texting before we came on, just trying to figure out. Like right now, I'll probably just find a bar in Oak, then with the family in the morning, and then just park myself at a bar and I don't know, drink myself into oblivion, then stumble home. I don't know. That's kind of where it's looking right now. So last year, I was on baby watch. My daughter was born on the 13th of November. Her due date was the 11th. So I didn't get to do anything. So I was like, this is going to be the year. We're going to tear it up. Like I said, my buddy's flown back in from Iraq. Like there's a whole bunch of sweet stuff all planned. And then it just went away. So, yeah.
Oh, you're pushing a bowling ball out of your vagina. That takes precedence.
I figured I still got pretty drunk, but I did at home. I rolled the dice. So I was pretty happy.
Can you imagine just being pissed loaded and then having that call? Oh, dude. Well, my water broke.
Yeah.
Come get me.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I can't.
I would.
Can I get a stand-in?
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't the first. So obviously, like this, it's not like you got 24 hours of labor. It was like flash to bang was like an hour. So it was something. Anyways.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was something.
She steps the wrong way and it just fell out, or what?
Oh, dude, it was just all. It was nerve-wracking to say the least, because that's like my nightmare. Is like people like, oh, I had a home water birth. It was amazing, and I'm like, that is just hell. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
the resale value of your house has gone down, right? The trauma at home.
You did what in this house?
Right.
Welcome to the first focal birthing podcast. Yeah.
Get out the black light. Could you imagine before you buy the house? You're like, oh my God.
Sean and I both screaming like 13-year-old girls.
Just in pure fear.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems I've seen this somewhere before or something like it. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. Okotoks, Alberta murder house. Google.
Why is it surrounded in German paraphernalia and Rhodesian brushstroke? Why is there Rhodesian brushstroke wallpaper?
Hey, if they made it, I'd have it.
I'm sure we could get it made up, Ryan. What could you imagine? We should do that to my garage. That'd be amazing. Anyway, so we should go around the table. Who are we? For those of you who are not, who are new to the show.
I hate this part.
I know. For it. Well, I'll go first. I'm
All
Sean.
right, do it.
I'm Sean. I am recovering fat guy. No, Sean, father of a beautiful son, perpetual poor, and egg equipment service specialist. So, Rooster.
I'm Rooster, and I don't know. I'm in construction. I'm the precision rifle guy. I spend hours a day grooming my beard for no real good reason. I'm out of the market, so what's the point, right? There are many.
Forget what she thinks about it. Just you're out of the market. Just go crazy.
By the way, have you guys seen the crush around here?
Yeah, exactly. So, Ryan, here's a funny story for you. So, what was that Sunday night? I'm giving my kid a bath, 4-year-old, and I poured in a copious amount of bubbles. Like it was unreal. And
nice.
And then
fun for both the kid and dad.
That's right. And we're playing around. I give him a mohawk, whatever, and that sort of shit. But then he's classic. Like, he bends down into it and then comes up and he's got like a beard, like a foam beard. He's like, Dad, look, I'm Kurt. I had to take a picture and send that to Kurt. So
Sarah, don't tell him anything. If he starts growing a beard by age 9, he might be mine.
Easy. Nancy's watching.
That was long ago.
That's right. That was literally long ago. Anyway, Ryan, who the hell are you?
I'm Ryan, and I'm co-owner of Gothic Line Armoury with my good friend Rob. Yeah, right now I'm just a dirtbag student back at university doing finance on veteran affairs dime, and yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Is I do home stuff and I shoot and try to grow a business and try and figure out what margins to put numbers in with finance. So that's my life.
I can just put any number in any cell in any column.
You could,
Yeah,
but I've learned that's not how you win.
So,
yeah.
Shit.
Is that conducive to your bank account, Kurt?
Yes. Very reflective. Yes. Yeah. I don't know what it is, Ryan, but you look fast tonight.
I look fast.
So smooth. Yeah.
Actually, you know who you look like? What was that Disney movie with the family? There's superheroes or whatever. The little kid.
The Incredibles. I look like the little kid off the Incredibles.
Yeah, you do.
But the one who runs really fast, though.
If he was grown up. Oh, buddy, you need a
no. I had a shower, and I'm also trying to be a recovering fat guy. So I've eaten lots of vegetables lately. Apparently that's the key to a healthy diet. And I hate it. I hate it so much, but here we are.
It is what your food normally eats, right?
So, it is. Yeah, that's what.
Eat bacon. Just fucking.
So funny you say that. So Kurt has been I started a diet on Saturday, and have you ever heard of Soylent? Right?
Like Soylent Green?
No, but like the drink. Soylent, like the shake.
No way.
It's a meal replacement shake that has literally everything you need for a meal, and it's 400-ish calories depending on your serving, and it's liquid, and you drink that when you get hungry. But I'm easing my way into it, and I'm doing a shake when I get hungry, when I get my first pains, usually 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then again at 4 generally. And then I eat my dinner time around 6-7 o'clock, and that usually consists of a high protein meat like a red steak or a piece of chicken. Yeah, the size no bigger than my fist, which is a pretty big fucking cinder block. And then, but I use that for portion sizes, so I use meat, veggies, and carbs, and then I don't have seconds or anything. And honestly, it's been pretty good. Like, I don't know. I've only had to text Kurt once saying my fucking stomach feels like it's going to rip out of my body. But yeah.
I'll give you a hint, man. Start looking up intermittent fasting. I know this isn't the diet show, but man, intermittent fasting works like crazy.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like my buddy who's like basically like a fancy anorexic, right? Where, I just did 48 hours of not eating. I'm like, pretty sure that's not right, but okay. So yeah, man, look it up. It's interesting.
Well, and it's sort of, and I'm not going like the full. I have researched it, and you need to go 16 hours to get a good fast in, and I'm usually going to I stop eating around 8, whatever after dinner, and then I go till 1, 2, 3 o'clock, right? So that's not quite 16 hours, but close. Anyway, just like here, Luke, friend of the show, Luke Godin. Sean, does that give you the Hershey squirts? Actually, no. I'm not
next question
into detail, but I'm fairly regular, so it's good. Anyway.
Well, I'd ready put here. I think he looks like Lunkers stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't know
what
that
is.
I wasn't even going to address that because I don't know.
Lunkers
TV? Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. Google that.
Slow down on the whiskey there, Luke. Anyway. Well, let's dive into the topic here. So, Ryan, we brought you on for a reason. That reason being you were the most available veteran that we're friends with.
Default.
Right. Well, no,
I reached out to other people and they went, "We don't want to be on your show, you losers."
Yeah. And veterans who served and wherever you were in the world are usually start drinking now, go till tomorrow, and then they pass out, right? So it's pretty tough to get a one of our operators who operate internationally, that sort of thing, to come on, because this is their time. This is their time to get together with buddies and remember and have a good time, right? So but anyway, regardless of the fact, we brought you on because you did serve, And let's kind of dive into that. So, where did you get your start in the military?
I was at Mount Royal College for the second time. Yeah, that's also a story. But I really wasn't really connected with everybody, right? I just felt like that wasn't the place for me. And I was walking through the main corridor, and they had it was like the career day, and they had an army booth, and I just sat there and I started talking to it was a naval guy, and just kind of asking him questions. And before I knew it, I had the application in my hand, and I was just filling it out in my dorm as quick as I could. From I think it was end of April because it's around finals, end of April till I got sworn in June of 2005. It was a super fast, like usually it takes, guys talk about like 8-12 month recruiting process. Mine was like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. There are some reasons for that. Kind of when you learn about like recruiters lying to you and like trying to steer you towards where they have openings, fully happened to me. So that's kind of where it started. And it started in the local reserve armored regiment, and I was always a member of them, but there's different classes, right? They call it like class A is your like Wednesdays kind of guy. B is full-time, C is equivalent to Reg Force service. So I did both B and C time because I just knew off the hop I didn't want to do it part-time. It wasn't it was my career. I wanted this. So I took the first door that got me in. And so now I'm here. I know that skipped over a bunch, but that was really the start of it. Yeah.
Well, in funny you say that about your expedited recruiting process. So at one point outside of high school, when I wasn't 300 pounds, I tried to get in, and not only did I try, they accepted me, and they asked me to it was going to be a mortar a mortar grunt, artillery grunt too. But they said, yeah, come on in and sign your papers and we'll get you going. Then you got to go to Quebec to do your basic. And I pussyfooted, and I said, no, I don't want to do it. So anyway, fun times. So
I had too much farm work to do. Farm work, and then my ball career took off. And
it's funny how, especially when you're young, things just take you in directions you don't always mean them to, right?
Yeah.
For better or for worse, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, you bet. Now I'm too old. They don't want anybody busted.
I think the oldest you can get in is 40 something. Is it 35? I don't know.
Thought so. I thought
so. I just know that's like 55 is retirement, and 60s if you get an extension.
Yeah. Get out.
And that's for the people. That's for the people. They'll still buy 40-year-old planes.
Yeah.
That'd be a new plane.
Yeah. And secondhand subs from England that start on fire on the way over here.
For Suffield. That's what it was. They sold us 4. Brits got.
You're kidding.
We got 4 broken ass subs that the only kills they have are when it started on fire with a Canadian crew on it, and 2 of the crew members died. Like, it's insane. Like when I was in Gagetown, we went to Halifax. They're just in dry dock, just sitting there. That's mid 2000s. They didn't move, so
just rotting away.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Apparently they're still operational, allegedly, but no one had seen it move.
Effective range of 20 miles and
tourist traps.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it West Edmonton Mall had more operational subs than we did? So like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. But anyway,
I wonder nobody's taken over this country by now.
Oh man, it's
gonna happen.
Military procurement or whatever is a terrible place. So
definitely. And I was on the other end of that. I used to be a general manager, and I'm going to say it. I was general manager for Fastenal, a company selling industrial supplies, fasteners, that sort of thing. And that's the route I took, because I'm like, I can go be a grunt, make $40,000 a year for 5 years, and then maybe get promoted, and maybe whatever. But I'm like, but then all these rich guys are all these flashy guys are driving nice half tons and bringing us donuts and coffee and stuff on the site, job sites, and I can do that. Anyway, but so I took over the branch in Moose Jaw for CFB 50, and I was selling to CFB 15 wing, and the procurement process was for what we bid on was for intrinsically safe flashlights, and basically they were going into Tudor jets and Harvard prop planes and Hawk 155s, and going into the fuel tanks for inspection. And you can't have a flashlight that is not sealed properly because those fumes could light up a fuel tank filled with jet fuel. So, but that process was so painful. It took me, I think, 6 months just in bidding, and then I won. Didn't leave any money on the table. I won by the skin of my teeth, and then I always had to have I think it was 10 or 20,000, 10 or 50, I don't know, between $10,000 and $20,000 worth of stock in stock just in case they needed it. And if I didn't have it, they would have pulled the contract and went to the next guy.
Hold on. What is this Lunkers TV stuff I keep seeing popping up now?
Oh, I can't. We just carry on. We can't share that with you. Luke just sent a couple of pictures.
Well, I know. I'm just seeing all this.
There's this
is happening here.
This Lunkers TV dude. He kind of looks like you, I guess. He's got a brilliant smile, is what Luke is really trying to get.
Yeah,
at.
But he doesn't sponsor the show. So shut up about Lunkers TV. He has to pay for that time.
Just like everybody else does, right?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway,
that's funny.
So you got into the Armored, and then what did you do after that?
So I was still in school, and I was trying to do as much as I could at the reserve unit while I was going to school, and I eventually got onto a Class B. So a Class B is your full-time reserve service, and that was the first time that I did a casualty notification. So we had guys in theater, and I was the full-time staff. I was the adjutant at the time, and one of our guys got hit in a tank, and they figured he wasn't going to make it, and so I got pulled from the field and had to go support the family basically while they were just waiting for the news if he was going to make it or not. He eventually did make it, but lost both his legs. But it was quite an eye opener for me in early 20s. I think I was maybe 22.
Wow, you're still a kid. Yeah.
No, it was fully. And that's one of the reasons it's not my favorite topic to talk about. It was I was super young, and you get put in a situation where you're dealing with some super adult emotions, if you want to put it that way, where you've got wives and kids and parents all looking to you for answers, and you're just as scared as they are because you're not sure what's going on, right? You're getting calls from Kandahar and trying to get updates from the Royal 3 hospital there, or you're trying to get updates from the Jock in Ottawa or in Edmonton, and it was really maturing, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you would have to mature very fast in a situation like that, especially being thrown essentially from the pan into the fire kind of thing, right?
100%. And like I had volunteered, I had put my name in the hat for tours before, and through just sheer incompetence by the administrative system, and there's a whole bunch of politicking. So like one of the roles that I tried to get on, I thought I was ready to roll, had my stuff, and it got switched over from Army to Navy because the Navy wanted to put guys in theater so they could get medals. And so it was like that. I got pulled from, that was 107 maybe, or 307. I can't remember. I think it was 107, but, or 108. But anyways, it just is what it was, probably 108. So yeah, then I volunteered again, and I just kept volunteering, and I eventually made it onto one of the headquarters tours, which was 509, and as luck would have it, I got mono while I was on workup, and so I got turfed off that tour, and that's how I ended up in the headquarters for 3 years. It was kind of like one of those I want to do something. I just can't sit by and, pretend.
Well, you shouldn't have made out with that pretty private from.
Each time I've got mono twice, which is amazing. You're only supposed to get it once. And both times are when I came back from Europe on leave. So, yeah, it is what it is there.
Of course that happens. Of course.
Right. Yeah, those lax checks and their sanitary rules. But yeah, anyways, so that's how I ended up in the headquarters. And my role, I was G1 services. So my role was like casualty administration, administrative releases. So that's when guys get injured in service and get kicked out. Obviously the notification team stuff, discipline. It was kind of, they call me like the dirty dog of the headquarters, because all the stuff that was real, like guys going to jail for crimes, or guys getting injured, obviously injured or killed, that was all my duty, that my purview between me and the G1. And it was again, I'm just early 20s. I was probably like 23, maybe 24 when that was going on. And it was every day. Like it was any guy that got injured or killed in our AO, we'd have, but also if their next of kin was in our area. So like we did notifications for US Marines. We did notifications for
Australians.
Not personally. There might have been, but I forgot all. It was just all the time. Like you'd have I had my BlackBerry, and it was usually about 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, and it would buzz, and you would just see like bell ringer, bell ringer, bell ringer. That was the thing telling you that's the email from Kandahar, going like, this is a no shit thing. Start spooling everything up, and we'd start talking early in the morning, basically how we're gonna ruin someone's life, right? Like we're gonna ambush them basically before work or before school, and let them know that their loved one is either been killed or they're injured to the point where they can't self-notify, is what we call it. So
wow, so that's like the, I hate to use this term, but like the scene in We Were Soldiers, when they land right in the valley there and they start getting casualties, and the taxi drivers were delivering telegrams. You were the telegram, essentially.
I was the guy.
Wow.
So there's it was definitely an odd time. Again, like I really wanted to be overseas. I mean, I joined to kick in doors and be the hero, and I ended up basically holding sobbing mothers, right? And it was again, it broke me of wanting that like military career forever, right? Like it was really hard. And that's why I say, like when we were talking for the show, if I want to talk about this stuff, it's not the cool guy, I'm a sniper, just bagging dudes and all the cool stuff. I saw the toll like every day. Whether we had guys who would fall out of watchtowers on in the middle of the night, and they would call their families, but we'd have to like kind of coordinate, because there's all sorts of benefits. And when guys got killed, coordinating the repatriations into Canada and the whole thing, and then funerals and
and dude, not trying, and I'm not going to use the term, but it takes a special breed of person to do the job you did, and props to you, man. You're as much of a hero as the guys kicking in doors, man. That's it takes a special type of
pretty vital role. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, because I always have the it's like veterans. Well, some of them, I shouldn't say all veterans, but like they like to categorize. Everything's categorized, especially in the military, right? So I never know where I fit. And when the Afghan guys take me into their fold and go, and you're an Afghan guy just like us because your role, I'm honored, because again, my boots never hit the soil, but I was involved in it. So I always say, I don't know if I was in a war but not part of one, or part of a war but not in one. It's this weird place. And that's why on Remembrance Day, when all the guys, and all of these are all like Afghan vets, some with a lot of medals, you know, sacrifice medals. A good friend of mine has 2 sacrifice medals, so that's you know, like our equivalent of the Purple Heart. They bring me into the fold, and they're just like, "You're with us, man. This is our Remembrance Day, so it's good to get with guys who know what you did." You know what I mean, and can appreciate it, because the amount of times when, you know, when guys want, "Oh, how many kills you get?" and you're like, "Man, I don't even want to go into this right now," right? Because it's a whole other thing. It kind of spirals you. But sorry, it takes an emotional toll. It took a hard toll for a lot of years to come out of that as a young kid.
If you're still going through that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not something that leaves, right? Like, it's time gives perspective, and you can kind of compartmentalize and kind of realize, and at the same time, you know, man, I was young. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, literally the first time I ever did a casualty thing, it's not like I had a course on it. It wasn't like they prepared me. They were literally like, "Get over there, drop me off, go."
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was no training. There's no nothing. It was just, and one of the, like, I have such a contentious feeling towards my old unit because some of the old stuff, but like, literally they just threw me a pamphlet. They're like, "Figure it out," you know. And then after
trial by fire.
yeah, and then like, and they also like, "Don't fuck up because Ottawa's watching," and you're like,
fantastic,
because there's families going to the news about notifications gone wrong, or like not learning about certain you know, benefits. It's just crazy. So yeah, I know it was definitely frying pan.
Wow.
But,
so,
you know, what you're talking about here is something that I've rarely heard before. It's always the guys that were in theater that came back that really experienced stuff firsthand. But you know, through listening to you talk, you know what, human suffering is human suffering. It could be it could be bad stuff in the field, but to see that, and I see it, I've seen it several times when, I mean, as close as I've gotten to stuff like that is people that I know that have lost children of all ages. You know, that human suffering. I don't give a fuck what nature it is. It's still deep suffering, and if you have any heart at all, that touches you. And it's you know, it's funny. Like, we were talking, Sean and I were talking to some people a while back about PTSD and things that people have seen, and I've talked to others about this before, and it's always in the field stuff. And to be honest, Ryan, until now, I've never considered, you know, somebody that's been in a position like you had, where you're delivering that goddamn news, and you see that side of human suffering,
and not only delivering it, but you're taking the full frontal force of the emotional wall that's coming at you at 100 mile an hour, and essentially with zero training. And like I said, dude, it takes a special breed of person to be able to go in there with no training, and handle that situation as well as you did, and to come out on the other end and have a successful business, to have a successful family, and kids that are healthy, and a wife that loves you, you know, because not a lot of vets have that, right?
No. And I've got some very close brothers that are very broken from their stuff. And I try to be a bit of a success story in that. Again, it's for different reasons. And I mean, they talk about things that, like you're saying, Kurt, things that that traumatize, right? Like there's instances, like things that happen, you know, like, bam, here's an incident that happens right now, and that's what you focus on. There's stuff that it was years. I mean, I was 3 years of that phone ringing, and even after, like, even Rob, he'll tell you, like, he'll call me and I won't answer for days, because like the phone's just a bearer of bad news. And I know that it's not all the time, but it's so ingrained from, again, you're young, impressionable, you're trying to really put on a brave mask, and yeah, it's rough. I mean, there's one we did when a good friend of mine, he hung himself. He killed himself on workup training, and I had seen him a couple days before with his daughter, and that one hit me really hard. And I had to give the folded flag to his mom at the funeral. Right? It was just like stuff like that. Just, and again, you know what Theo did? He literally tossed me a keychain. He goes, "I guess you're in this," and you're like,
"That's awesome."
Yeah, I guess maybe I did. Thanks. So there's also not a lot of recognition for some of the other stuff that went on. Right? Like I was just tired of being given more and more and given less and less recognition, really. So,
well, this is heavy.
So it's heavy, man. That's why I said we went back and forth about if I was going to come on and talk about it, because it's not fun. It's not glorious. You can't, it's not around the campfire. Everyone wants to hang on your last word about, sneaking into an OP. It's the reality of conflicts.
But you know what, buddy? Like, okay, so the simple fact that you're with us talking about this right now, and I know there's a few viewers that have seen some shit too, at least that are on right now. The simple fact that you're talking about this might actually give some strength, some perspective, some, for lack of a better way to put it, get up and go for other guys too. There is, let's talk about some of the help out there. What is available for guys, and who's it available to? All the rest of it. Like, can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough that I really didn't. Again, from when I was working at the G1 services, I saw and had to do like administrative reviews. I saw kind of the process of people getting out of the military and what was available to them after. So that gave me a bit of a leg up, but things changed so quickly that I was lucky enough to latch on to a guy named Mike Burgess at the Legion, who really helped me navigate Veterans Affairs and what was available. And I wouldn't have known that I could have gone to school if it wasn't for guys like him. And following up with me and making sure that I was, did you call this guy? Did you email this guy? Did you do this? You do that? So the resources are there. There's so many stupid hoops though.
This is what I've heard, Ryan.
It's there, but you have to dance. You know what I mean? It's kind of like walking into the office, do a jig and we'll help you. And it's too bad it's not put there intentionally. It's put there by tax funded bureaucracy. Exactly. So the people at Veterans Affairs want to help, but so many times their hands are tied by the bullshit.
Well, and more times than not, this of all the people that I've talked to about this sort of stuff, this is where people lose it. No, fuck it. I am not doing this shit. You want this from me? Fuck you. All I want is help. And you want 36 different things from me. I don't have time for this. I need something now.
Well, this is okay. I'm going to tell a quick story here. So I played online mobile games with a guy, and he had me on Facebook, and he's a former Marine out of Kentucky, and he was messaging me some pretty crazy verbiage. We never talked, we never met, but he was doing that and saying things like, I'm going to hurt myself, essentially telling me he was going to fucking kill himself. And I said, okay, well, don't do that. Here's my number. Call me. He never did. He wouldn't give me his number. So I'm like, what can I do to help mitigate this? So I actually called the Bowling Green VA hospital, and they said, well, did he tell you he was going to do this? Yeah, he did. Is there a plan? Well, no, he didn't verbalize a plan. Mm-hmm. Well, we can't do anything then. What? Are you fucking joking me? Just give the guy a call or dispatch your local fucking deputy or sheriff's deputy or whatever to go check on the guy. And they said, we can't do that. It's not within our stature. So I actually ended up calling the local sheriff department and saying, hey, this guy is saying this. I sent him screenshots. You need to go check on this guy. And he did. And the guy ended up berating me, saying, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. like just going off the handle, but his mind got off the subject and focused that attention on me. And I think I saved his life because of that. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but the guy will never talk to me again. He blocked me and that sort of thing. But I don't know, like
Dude, it's better to have done something than nothing.
Well, exactly. And you never know what could have happened. And actually, friend of the CCFR, Colin Saunders, I reached out to him and I said, Colin, did I fuck up here? Like, what could I have done differently? Because I don't know. I'm not in that situation. And he's like, nope, you did what you could. If there's more people like you, less vets will take their life or self-harm. And, if he doesn't talk to you, that's his way of coping, and just go for it. And so I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about the situation, but is that sort of mentality from the VA the same in Canada as it is down there?
Well, there's certainly that aspect of where someone has to do something, and that's just law, right? Like someone has to do something before they can step in. Yeah, I don't know how they'd handle that. I've never been in that exact situation you're talking about, right? But I do know that they want to help. Like I was saying, the VAC wants to help and the money is there. It's just bureaucratic crap and that gets in the way, right? So there are programs could be better, yeah. Are there things that certainly could be streamlined and you could have better mental health access? Because even like, we'll talk to you, but if you're having home issues, we can't talk to your wife and it get paid for, right? So there's just things, man, and you got to go through the hoops and you got to kind of figure out the way. But the thing is, you need someone who's an expert at the system to help you. And a lot of guys, and it's happened to me before too, where like, oh, you're eligible for this, but the hoops I just don't want to go through. I don't want to go through like how many.
Such a common thing.
It's happened all the time.
Yeah.
And every year it's like, here's the paperwork, like how many drinks do you have in a week? How many this? How many? Do you have these thoughts? Do you have that?
And then you feel like you're getting judged for every fucking step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're going, well, why would I fill these out?
Right.
Things escalate to what it's not.
Because you're just going to put me in this category.
This is literally just checks in the box.
Yep.
This isn't nuance. This isn't, who you are as a person. This isn't maybe, talking about that guy there, Sean. Like maybe this is the way you just vent and you're not serious, but you need to vent it. If someone knows that about you, then maybe those checks in the box they know are just checks in the box and they'll just fill it out for you, right? Just to help you out. But it's tax dollars. And it's funny. You think about all the places that governments have no problem wasting money, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just, just figure it out later. But back is one of the ones where it's all these checks in the box, or they'll, they're always saying, oh, we'll come back and, if you're not eligible for this, you might have to reimburse. And guys are like, I need the money, but there's no way that I could afford a reimbursement because I need the money, right?
Well, so, let's get some help for the LGBTQ community in Africa.
Well, and there's so many
millions there, and then
800 million.
Well, anyway. I said millions. I wasn't specific, but
there is, like. So I'm just reading this, like a Todd offside.
Yeah.
Mike Burgess at Veterans or the Legion. He's Northwest Command or whatever here in Alberta. Outstanding. He's one of those guys that's going to make you walk in front of him and he's going to make you explain your situation. And if you're legit, he will absolutely go to the ends of the earth for you. Because
maybe this is a something that needs to happen. Somebody can make something out of this. Some sort of advocate, some sort of catalyst for that, like an agent almost.
Well, you're supposed to have case managers. So every Veterans Affairs file has a case manager. Now, I am constantly bounced around.
Veterans Affairs.
They are, and I'm constantly bounced around. I think I get a new one.
Yes.
Not every 6 months, every year. Right. And there's no continuity. There's ones that are really good, but because they're really good, they move on to other things.
Right. That's governmental. Yeah. Yep.
So there's no one. That's why I say Mike Burgess. A lot of people, like, literally, he's like, the amount of people that call me the C word. And I would say it, but I'm never sure I should. I say it all the time at home. But he's like, the amount of people that call me that are insane. Like, it's crazy. Because there are people who come to him asking to get their, like, Mexican vacation paid for. But, like, dudes who are legit, he will bend over backwards and figure it out for you. And I've sent some very legitimate, like I said, guys who are riddled with shrapnel from Taliban mortars, and, you know, guys that have all sorts of, you know, problems from their tours to him, and he's sorted all for them where they hope. So
other than a fellow like that, is there any form of expediting in certain circumstances? Like if a guy is truly desperate, is there any way to fast track?
I'm sure. I mean, everything goes. That's the shitty thing, is like, no matter what you do, they always tell you to call the 1-800 number, right? Of course, like, there's the suicide hotline.
You bet.
You know, and you're like,
they'll take care of you. We're here to help.
What's that going to do if someone doesn't have close to them that they can call? You think calling Veterans Affairs suicide hotline, where someone gets, you know, like, you know, either woken up at home for them to call, like,
right.
I don't know.
Or back to that story I was telling you with the guy, the Marine. You know, I called that 24-hour number, and you know, I waited on hold.
You telling me about that.
I think I talked to you about that, Kurt.
Yeah,
and
you did.
I waited on hold for 22 minutes.
Yep.
And that's a lifetime to somebody going through an episode. And, you know, I couldn't imagine, you know, going through what you guys have gone through and then having to wait on hold in the middle of an episode. Like, that's, I don't know.
It's funny because I know that the VA is a lot worse than here. Because when we did the notification for that U.S. Marine, I can't remember his base, because I want to say Fort Bragg, but that doesn't sound right because I'm pretty sure that's an Army. But anyways, I called his base, and, you know, I got through to whoever my, you know, equivalent is at an American base, you know, and they're like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Lieutenant Friesen, you know, Canadian Army, G1 services, blah blah blah." This is the situation. Like, what support do you guys have on your end for the next of kin and the daughter? Because, I mean, we can support to a certain extent. And he's like, "Oh, we don't have fucking anything." It was literally like a 5-minute conversation. He's like, "I don't know. You figure it out." You know, click. So at the end of the day, she just got my card, and that was it.
Oh my.
So yeah, I don't know. It's different systems, man, but they're all. Can they be better? Of course. Are they trying? Yeah. I can't shit all over them because they've helped me. But
okay, so some of the negative stuff in that now aside, what are some of the successes you've come across? There's got to be some good.
Oh, I mean, I think the rehab programs and the education programs are awesome. I think, like, they instituted that a couple years ago, where it was, you do 6 years, you get like 40K towards school, 12, you get 80K towards school. It's all prorated. That's amazing. That's basically our version of the GI Bill, right?
Right.
And so you got guys who get out and they're like, "Holy crap, like, I can go upgrade or get a degree on Veterans Affairs dime." Like, that's a huge success. Like, during this whole COVID thing, it's been my saving grace, is that Veterans Affairs has been putting me through school.
Wow.
That decision was made before everything happened, right? I was in my second semester when everything kicked off, you know, this past winter, and I had a plan, like a goal, right? So, and signed a system I was already in. I know other guys that have been through it, that have successful veteran businesses, again, that got put through it. They did like welding or communications, you know, any sort of thing to bring their skill up to the amount of time that they put in with the military. I think that's amazing. Like education, you can never go wrong educating anybody.
No, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
So, and again, it was one of those things that I had a hard time. I fought it for probably a year or two, where I was like, I ain't taking that money. Like, no, I'm not taking that money. I don't deserve that money. Forget it. Not a chance.
Why is that? Is that just because of the way you felt about your position, or what?
Yep. Yeah. It goes back to tour stuff. And I'm like, I'm not taking away from anybody. You know, if it's one guy that's out there and he gets denied because I took some of the cash, like, not a fucking chance. And again, I got sat down by a few people, and they're like, they literally just gave Omar Kadar $10.5 million. You earned this money. Take it. And I went, fair enough. Fair enough. And it's not, I'm certainly not taking anywhere near, even $500,000.
Let's go back to this. Did you read this?
I did. I saw it on the side, and I've been reading some of the stuff, but I've been trying not to read too much on it, more just because I don't want to get distracted. Because when I talk about more of the heavier stuff, I tend to get a little scatterbrained. So I'm just trying to look at you or Sean's face. So.
But you get what he's getting at, though, right?
I get it. I get it. Sure. But it's one of those things where it's like 100 things that support me. It's the one guy who calls me a piece of shit, and then it's the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always the one that brings things down.
And I appreciate it incredibly when people confirm kind of how I hope that people perceived what I did.
Right.
It helps me mentally. It's a huge boost, but it's always like, again, it comes back from kind of wait for the phone call, right? You're always waiting for that one to drop, right? And it's like, maybe it's from someone you really respect and they don't mean to say it.
Yeah.
But something comes up and you're like, and it spirals you into something, man. It's a lifelong, I don't want to say journey because I hate those kind of terms, but
it's not a journey, it's a destination.
Right?
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifetime learning experience to unfuck yourself. So
in reading Todd's comment, I'll read this here. Linking up with Miles and the fellows at CS66, Rooster and the whole precision shooting community has been a game changer for me. I have trouble putting it into words without sounding like a puff. Well, I've noticed that the precision shooting community, outside of just the military aspect, but just in general, is everyone is out to make you better as a person and support you with whatever you're going through. Yeah. And that speaks volumes. And
to sharing it, no matter where you're coming from. And I know Todd well, and I get a feel for where Todd's coming from. I don't profess to know where Todd's coming from, but I can see inside him a little bit, if that makes any sense to anybody. He has a bit of a hard time opening up to people, and I can see that he's out there on the range with them, and I just want to fucking grab him by the collar and, hey, you're all right here, man.
Yeah,
you're all right. And I think he needs that from time to time. I can tell.
And it's not just him. It's
when he gets around Rob, and when he gets around Miles, and I have to say, when he gets around me even a little bit, that he comes down just a little bit. He's edgy,
and it's rightfully placed, because the Army puts very little emphasis on sensitivity, obviously, and a whole lot on being tough and being part of the collective, right?
For sure.
So when you get out, you're lost. And that's why on my Instagram I say, recovering bro vet, because when I first got off or got out, it was multicam hats with IR flags and stupid dumb shirts, and I didn't want to. It was like, you want to be in, but you want to be out. You want everyone to know you're in.
Let's put it this way, Ryan. Those shirts are still around.
I know.
Wear them from time to time.
Now they are way tamed down. There's certain like this, like military-esque, like gun shirts. You know what I mean? I try to keep them sign like bolt action, sign that is really it's something. It's not just like, thank you for your service, sir, on walking through the grocery store in July. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. I want to be so much more than what brought me here. Like, you certainly give affirmations to what brought you and the crap you've gone through to get you there. Yeah. But like, I had a young troop who served in 2011. Post, it's always been 10 years since. Well, it could have been 2011, 2010. 10 years since I was in Afghanistan. The peak of my life. I'm like, dude, that was not the peak of your life. You have so much ahead of you. You're doing so many incredible things right now that you can't, if you see that as the peak versus like the stepping stone, that's just a recipe for problems, right? Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, this is not it, man.
This isn't it. It can be something you can certainly recognize for what it was, but is if you get in that mindset that you're stuck back there and you can never be anything more, that's where a lot of the problems come from. I have just so many buddies that like Rob has said, guys who, and Rob was 89 to 93. He'll probably kill me for not knowing his exact years. But I mean, so guys that are, served 30 years ago that are still killing themselves over stuff that happened. Yeah. It's you have to kind of figure out how to move past it. And again, education's helped with me. The business has helped me. Being on podcasts like this has helped me. Said I really waffled if I wanted because I've never spoken openly about this stuff. Like, I don't go on podcasts. I don't post about it. It's not my It's too personal too. And I'm kind of, after losing so many friends over the years, whether they were in Afghanistan or after, through high risk activities, car accidents or motorcycles or drinking and suicide. What do you do, right? I want it to be about them. Right. And when it comes down to it, and that my life has been better because of knowing them. So I said, I don't talk about my stuff for those reasons.
Well, hey, and props to you. Sorry, Kurt. Props to you for coming on to do this, man. I know that
we appreciate it.
A few points of the conversation were pretty tough. And thanks, man. You're doing a lot to help, like you said, other guys who might be listening. Thank you. This is phenomenal. And,
Thanks, Sean.
and enlightening guys like myself who've never been in your shoes or never will be, or other guys like that, it helps enlighten the uneducated public to see what dudes are going through. And not just dudes, women as well. And that's
they're dudes too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've run my G1 and my chief clerk when I was in the G1 office doing that stuff. Both ladies, and they were the best. I have nothing. They were my friggin' rocks during that time. Like,
there are a lot of women out there that are strong as fuck.
It was crazy. We'd be going through hard stuff. Like I said, bell ringer after bell ringer, and families and people pouring through our doors. They're fresh from Afghanistan, still shot up, or whatever, right? And we'd be trying to help, and we would still try to bring out the best of each other, even when we were really, really in a funk where you feel hopeless, because you're also part of the machine. You can only help so much.
For sure,
I appreciate it's been cathartic to come on and talk about it. I said, very reluctant to speak openly about it. I just felt it was my duty. Like you said, Sean, maybe I'm not the only guy. I'm obviously not the guy who went through it, but the way I was treated by the unit and by the Army kind of after really pissed me off and really did not help anything at all. It was,
well, listen, like, what I'm hoping that that you being on here and talking about this, opening up, first of all, helps you. And second of all, helps other people realize that, hey, they can actually open up about it. There's, this is going to sound stupid as fuck, but there are some safe spaces for people with certain needs,
Mhm.
right? And back to when I was talking about Todd and the group with call sign 66 and that that is a safe group of people. Rob here said it, like, going back to readdress this again. I'm sorry, guys, allow me, but Todd, not at all like a puff. Without brothers on the outside, we're effed. You know what? I think that's true. And again, I can't profess to know what's going through guys' minds that have been through some stuff a lot more than what Sean and I have been. But that's exactly what I was trying to express before, was that Todd was having a tough time putting things into words, but you've got your brothers, and it might not even be just the brothers that you served with. There are people out there that you can fucking lean on.
Yep. And it's not just military. It's police. It's fire. It's EMTs.
Sure.
It's law enforcement. It's people need to talk more. And
it's a matter of finding that particular herd that you can get shit out and lean on people. It's not like it used to be. That strong man. He's alone. Yeah. The lone wolf, is the
on his cattle ranch with,
right. Yeah. Whatever. It's not that way anymore. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. And I think more and more people are realizing that. And people still, like, as men, we're bad at reaching out, just inherently, right?
Yeah.
And it shows weakness, is what we think. Yep. And I think it's coming to light more and more now that it's not in fact weakness. It's camaraderie. It's, hey, you got these problems too, or you understand where I'm coming from, or you want to just sit and listen to me while I vent a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that, and I think guys are realizing that more now, and it's good to see. And you being on here, Ryan, honest to God, to me at least, shows that you're willing to talk about this. And I think it should help other guys to realize that it's okay to do the same. Yep. Like you had some trepidations about being here. Oh, but you're on here. You're talking.
Huge trepidations. When Sean gave me a shout on Saturday, it was like,
it wasn't just Saturday. It was 2 weeks. I've been working on you for 2 weeks, and just I know
Saturday was the trigger pull, so that's when it wasn't talking. It was like, listen, Tuesday,
get off my fucking back,
and I'm like, okay, let me think about it. And then it's been back and forth, because you're right. Like Kurt, the whole thing is, it's very much how you're perceived, right? Like I certainly have a persona that I like to think I am. Obviously, my wife knows I'm not. She has to deal with me all the time. Thanks, Rob. I know, and Rob's been a big supporter of me, stuff like this. And I still, he's like my other wife sometimes, where
just doesn't put out as much.
Thank God for that. He's the guy, like Kurt, you're saying, like, oh, I go up to him and he's grumpy, I gotta give him a hug. I'm a hugger, man. I'm that guy I've known in our group, and the guys who don't want to friggin' be touched, and I'll friggin' grab him. I'm like, just come here.
It's all right.
Accept my love, you fucking homo. Yeah,
right.
That's the thing. It is fucking
don't be gay. Kiss me.
Just spank me, right? Not too hard.
You gotta break the ice sometimes.
But just
guys are just, when again, like that persona's there. You just gotta bust through it sometimes. So good for you for doing that, because I tried to. Rob will do that too, right? Like we're having, I beat myself up about shooting a lot because I'm good at it, but like if I get in my head and I'm thinking too much and I'm just shooting like crap, guy that comes over, he's like, don't worry about it, man, just chill out, especially it's in front of like Miles and Carrie and the call sign, like, this isn't me. But
listen, we understand that you took your little trip there and you're off in some other fucking world, but come on back to us. You're okay.
Yeah, no, and we need that, man. If we don't have each other, like we don't got each other's backs, man. Like,
yeah,
who does? So
for sure.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate as much as it was. I didn't know, and I knew it was either going to be really good to talk about or like really bad. And I'm glad I went to the really good side.
Yeah.
Because you never know, I guess. But.
Well, and that brings me to my next part. So, considering this went well, if people want to help, what can they do?
Oh God, that's a really hard question. I'm
It is tough.
You know what? So I can't say anything towards national, right? Like that's not my thing. I help guys that I know in the local area, or as much as I can. There's a charity that's out of Cochrane, Alberta here, called Wayfinders Wellness, and so Bryce Talsma was one VP guy that I know. It's also a guy named Paul who is a Calgary cop here in Calgary.
Obviously,
Obviously.
Shut up, Sean.
They started. No, good. I screwed that one up. They started a charity that is specifically first responder veterans based, where there's a ranch out of Cochrane called Wine Glass Ranch, where guys come and fish. They can just hang out. They can do whatever. They just did like a sweat for a vet kind of charity, raising money in Cochrane. It's also attached to or associated with a guy named Todd Heisey, who is a 1VP guy as well, who has veteran hunters. So he's had myself and a couple other guys out doing veteran hunts. So really connecting that way, because a lot of the organizations, and I mean, I can type them, but I won't say them, but will not support veterans using firearms. So they won't support hunting, and including bows. So one of them, I was trying to get like a hunting bow set up so I can go on one of the hunts with these guys. And they said no, because you said hunting. So I said, okay, I meant target shooting. And then they subsidized the bow for me because I said that. So anyways, veteran hunters, they're also,
you can private message me those. I'll burn their houses.
Sure. I'll let you know. So Todd Heisey is amazing with veteran hunters. Paul and Bryce at Wayfinders Wellness, that's the local stuff that has been amazing for a lot of us. So
look them up. Supporting your local Legion Hall, would that help?
Man, I'm torn on the Legions, right? Like I know there's I love the idea. Like I wish we don't really have a Legion here in Okotoks. We do, but we don't. Like it's rented out from the Elks, blah blah. There's some issues with the Legions, which is all coming from some perceived and some real conflicts in kind of the upper echelons of it. If that's where you want to help, you want to go meet guys, and just there will be guys there, sure. But on the best way is connecting with them through whatever organization you want to, whatever is the best way you think is, even if it's the Veterans Food Bank, if it's anything, just anything. Guys like to be heard, and guys like to be acknowledged, and they like to know that maybe they served 75 years ago in World War II, 60 years ago in Korea, modern day. It doesn't matter when, as long as there's people who still kind of like who think of them, because again, you may age, man, but the things you went through when you're young never leave you. So
What can you tell us about? Sorry, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent again, but
tangent away, man. That's my thing. So,
Veterans Food Bank of Calgary. What do you know about them? Sean and I were told by some very special people that they're doing some very good things. Sort of apart from, definitely apart from the Legion, and that the Legion seems to have gotten a bit of a bad rap, or maybe they're going a direction that's a bit antiquated. Whereas the Veterans Food Bank has sort of picked up that ball and run a little bit.
So there's someone I met through another veteran kind of esque organization. I know I'm dropping names here, whether they want me to or not. A guy named Todd Gilman, another Patricia. He's really involved in the Calgary Food Bank or the Calgary Veterans Food Bank. He might be, if someone reaches out to him on one of the social media things he's on, he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't even know what it is, but I know there's him. I mean, there's Ray McKay here in Alberta who does hog in Alberta. He set up a veterans ranch for, again, guys who want to come and hunt hog. There's JP Adventures by Whitecourt that does veteran hunts for ram and turkey. There's a lot of hunting organizations that you could either donate money if you want, time if you want. If you're an outfitter, who knows, maybe ammo. Like, they're all things that are all run by volunteers, and they're just trying to get guys out to feel the camaraderie again.
Right.
And they're out there again. I really only know the Alberta stuff because that's my purview, I guess you could say, being where I'm at.
Well, that's a good start. And Rob, your partner here, says, give us a shout at Gothic if you're a vet and need to talk always. So where can they find you guys at Gothic?
I mean, there's always, I was going to say the Gothic website, but if you want to talk, man, we've got like Gothic Line Armoury, Instagram, there's mine, armed_and_ginger. I know it's annoying to say. That's another Instagram that I got. It's always there, man. Because we get it. I've certainly been the recipient of help and have given it. So yeah, talk to Rob or myself any way you can. Even getting a hold of us through you guys, right? You guys, you're the ones with the podcast. So
and you don't have to talk to if you can't get a hold of a vet, talk to a civvy. And there's just talk it out. It's not going to do you any harm. And I know Kirk gets kind of pissy because I call him with my bullshit problems once in a while, but
I don't get pissy, you dumb shit. Call me, you fucking dick.
Running a dozer on a 1 in 12 grade slope, fucking. Sean,
listen, you know what?
Do you want?
Listen, busting balls and not caring are two different things.
Absolutely.
Every conversation starts busting balls.
Absolutely.
And then it's,
and shouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. It lets you know that you're with a buddy who cares, right? Yeah. If it was eye rolls and that's different. But if he calls you right off the bat, all right, we're in for a good combo. So
all of my friends know that when I'm working, and we can always talk later. But
that's right.
All of my friends know, all my true friends know that I'll fucking drop anything to talk to you if you need it. Yep. That's it.
Exactly.
It's my black and white. You know exactly how black and white I am, Sean. So that's the thing. True friends will always have time for you when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
The hey, what are you doing? Is maybe not necessarily the time you need somebody.
Precisely.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I got something going on. That's the fucking time. Your true friend will drop everything and okay, let's have it.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's all.
My buddies who are waiting on their COVID test and everything, talk about busting balls. Every morning I ask them if the Reaper took them. And then I said, let me know if I can talk to your wife about your AR parts. Yeah. And that's what I do every morning.
What AR parts? What are you talking about?
Hey, man, that doesn't matter. The AR parts are good to go. I want to know. I'll start texting the wives, be like, is he dead yet? I need those parts.
Right.
See, that's when you're in a good spot.
Exactly. Yeah, if you can't carve a fucking brother up, man, you got problems.
That's right. Yeah,
I agree. Because they'll let you know if it's overboard and if it's serious. Yeah. And again, that levity usually helps break that manly.
How many times have you been told that you're going overboard? I'm
willing
all the time. Really?
Constantly. Like that's all I push the line to start with. And people are like, what the hell is wrong with you? And you're like, all right, I'm going it back a bit. That's my defense mechanism is to just go overboard.
That's right.
So yeah, man.
You're a dick and I hate you. What's up,
Right.
man?
Right. Yeah, that's the way I like to be greeted.
I'll remember that next time I text you.
No, you will not. You will be polite.
You will show respect, goddammit. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway. Well, Kurt, let's speaking of veterans-based organizations, we are sponsored by one of those.
Mm-hmm.
We are so.
You want to talk about them?
Where do I do that?
Well, I can ring it off the top of my head, but I don't have the show notes on it.
All right. Well, let's talk about call sign 6. Well, call sign 66, or the only thing we have is Bolt Action Coffee here for the show notes. You know what?
Well, let's
call sign 66.
Yeah.
Miles, Cappy, the guys down there.
Carrie.
Yes, sorry. I'm not good with this ad lib shit. I need
They
notes.
are
I need
a
structure.
Let me see if I got it. They're a veteran-based organization. Oh God, I fucked it up. They're a veteran-based organization founded on they I can't do it now. I lost it.
I don't have my phone in front of me. I was gonna start reading it for you to show you up. I got nothing.
Well, they're founded to facilitate multi-generational passage of information ballistics application R&D and shooter development, whose collective function is morally motivated and experience-based. Welcome to the Brotherhood.
That's right.
Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and their website at callsign66.ca.
There you go.
Was I breathy enough?
No, you were good. Dylan,
I'll rewatch it later.
Okay. Before we sign off here, Dylan, he's saying Agogi Tactical Regiment veteran Jody Levesque, his training course or training company, has a pistol course this weekend for no light, low light, and concealed carry. I'm pretty sure some spots are still available. See it at the Red Deer Shooting Center, and I love the Red Deer Shooting Center. Derek, Kurt, all those boys there, they're awesome. So check them out. rdsc.ca, I think. Yeah, that's a free plug for them. So they gave us a hook. They gave us a hookup on a rifle. So we'll leave it at that until more comes. So
you know what? We need to talk to Jody again about coming on and see if he's game at all.
You bet.
And we reached out to him quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
I want him to do the entire thing from his Viper simulator or whatever it is, Falcon simulator, where he's not really even paying attention to you and he's playing around. That's the only way I'll watch it.
That happens a lot with us, honestly. A lot of our guests are just, playing some video game while they're talking to us. We're talking to them.
But
sure.
On the plus side, before the CFO decided to take a hard right turn on Jody's operation, he had a great range and course curriculum at his range in Harris. I'm kicking myself for not doing a carbine course with him. And even when I was in better shape, I was still kick. I'm like, I should do his Ironman with him because he builds him and I'm going to give him a shout out here, Matt Rosenfeld. They put together an Ironman program that incorporates fitness into shooting and basically carrying around a railway tie and then having to shoot a full string of fire. It's unreal. It's
train as you do that all the time.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So out in the field, I'm going to carry around a railroad tie.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway, yeah. Well,
all right,
that's
boys.
about it, man. That was
Ryan, fucking A, man. I thought this was a fantastic talk.
Oh, thank you. I hope people didn't get too bored while I was on. It's one of those things, man, when I get into kind of the harder stuff, my mind wanders. So I hope people
as far as I'm concerned, you were on point. It was great.
Thank you.
No, it was great.
Yes, sir.
What I hope from this is that that people watch and whether they're here now or whether they download and listen to this, what they get from this is that they can actually reach out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's some help for
you're not alone.
Even if it's not just even if it's not help, it's just the camaraderie, the shared experiences and shit like that.
And you know what? If you're reaching out to people and they give you the runaround or don't treat you the way you need to, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like there are people that actually can understand.
Sure.
And if someone's that broken that they can't understand what you're needing,
Yeah.
again, fuck them, move on. So
That's why I talk about the herd. Finding the right herd. Everybody needs their herd.
Yeah, and there are people that
hate
give
the herd, but
there are people that give a fuck. Don't just if you don't get if you don't get the response you need, try somebody else. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So
and you know what? Find good people to lean on. Like you're talking to Pete and Bernie, remember, Sean?
Yeah.
And Pete without Bernie is he's a challenging individual. Bernie is his rock. Bernie's a fucking
she's a hell of a
fantastic
woman.
gal. Oh my God. And everybody needs a Bernie, I think.
We met Ryan. We met her at King of 2 Miles, and she was
amazing.
Just exudes love and exudes comfort, and
that's the kind of people you need, man.
Yeah. She's a hell of a lady. So she's listening. Shout out to Bernie.
I love you, Sean. I love you, Ryan.
Oh.
I'll take it. I'm the hugger. I'm the hugger. Yeah.
Back off.
Nope.
I love you is where it stops.
Well, one person that is not getting hugs tonight is Wes Stevens. We couldn't have him on. We had to have Ryan on for Remembrance Day. So, yeah, sorry, Wes. But also, big shout out to John Johnston and his band, the Dirt Road Scholars, for the kick-ass music. There is some new music in development, by the way.
Thanks for letting me know.
That's right.
What am I, a guest?
I'll send you the invoice, Kurt. We'll put it that way.
Oh, right. There's that. Okay, do it.
Yeah, check them out wherever you get your music. They got some cool stuff.
Welcome to the Brotherhood.
That's right. That's right. Ryan, you're a stellar dude.
Fucking A, man.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Okay, have a good night. Have a good Remembrance Day. Enjoy your day off. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Out.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Don't set that bar too low, Kurt. Okay, bye.
See ya.